All right, all right. Yeah, that was a start for you. Hey, how you doing this evening? This is Louis George Walker, and I'd like to welcome you to this Monday edition of the BFTAA and More Show. We're coming to you at the beginning of 2023, and we're just glad to be here. The BFTAA and More Show is a show that's produced by the Black Family Technology Awareness Association in partnership with the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. We came together and we started this radio station called Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. KUAW is our call sign. So if you want to find out about us or find us at any time, just Google KUAW or KUAW.org, and you'll find out about this station here. We're internet radio, and we're giving you news, we're giving you information, entertainment, music, all that 24 hours a day. So this is the BFTAA and More Show, and we want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in STEM and educational-wise, along with what's happening in the community. That's what we do here. So we're glad that you joined with us today, and we'll get ready to get this show started, because one of the things that we always do is we like to bring you the information that's going on. Let's see if we can pull that up. That's what's going on in NASA. NASA is the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and since we're about STEM and we're about our young people being involved in STEM activities, we support that. We have a couple of robotics teams that we have worked with over the years at the different events on the VEX level and on the Lego League level. And if you'd like to get involved with our new drone program that we're starting, we're having a drone program for young people to get involved in right here in Kansas City. So if you'd like to be a part of that, we'd love to talk to you. You can always get in touch with us at 816-599-6893. That's going across at the top of your screen. Be sure and check us out, listen to us, like us, and share us. If you're picking us up on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, or if you're listening to our audio-only broadcast, which goes out at the same time, you could be picking us up on the Get Me Radio, on TuneIn app, on online radio box, at Radio Garden, at KUAW.org, or you can pick us up on My Radio Tuner. We're on all of those and broadcasting over Roku. If you have a smart speaker like a Google or Amazon speaker, you can also pick us up on that, and all you have to do is tell your speaker to play KUAW, and it will get you. Look for us on your Fire Stick, also on your Roku. Look for KUAW in the radio side. We're broadcasting 24/7 right from this location here at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. This is one of the most exciting radio stations going on in the city, and we're doing a lot of new things. We got a new show that started last week, and they're going to be doing their second show tonight. So be ready to stay tuned for Smart Money, business news and reviews. That's going to be coming on at 7 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, I believe we're going to have B. Michael, and he's doing a special show because this is a Monday, and he's usually on the first and the third of the month. But since okay, so we'll see if he's coming in. I'm checking him out and see what he's texting me and see if we can get him in here. But, yeah, we've got a lot of things. This is a new year, a lot of things happening when the year changes, so people are trying to get their schedules together. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So we're going to go to NASA right now so you can see what's happening with the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This is a program that they put out that's called This Week at NASA. So I want you to check this out and see what's going on this week at NASA. Oops, wait a minute. We'll get it here.
Fuel-efficient aircraft, and a way to possibly predict solar flares. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA. On January 20th, NASA astronaut Nicole Mann and Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Koichi Wakata conducted a spacewalk outside the International Space Station to prepare for future upgrades to the station's power system. The station's existing power channels are being augmented with new rollout solar arrays. On January 18th, we announced a partnership with Boeing to build, test, and fly an experimental full-scale sustainable flight demonstrator aircraft aimed at lowering emissions.
And Boeing's concept is a transonic, truss-braced wing, single-aisle aircraft.
Learn more about NASA's work in aeronautics research at nasa.gov/flight. Our Solar Dynamics Observatory has identified small-scale flashes in the upper layers of the solar atmosphere, the corona, that could help us predict solar flares, which in turn could help us anticipate the disruptive impacts of space weather storms here on Earth. Teams at our Michoud Assembly Facility recently completed welding of the Space Launch System, or SLS, core stage liquid oxygen tank dome for Artemis 3. The liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen tanks hold the propellant used to launch the SLS and the Orion spacecraft into space. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/twan. Preparing for a more powerful space station, building a more fuel-efficient aircraft, and a way to...
All right. So that was this week at NASA, and I tell you, they're coming up with a lot of things. And that research development also on Earth, when you see the airlines that they're working, or the new aircraft that they're helping to design, a lot of that is a lot of work for a lot of people that we should be a part of. You know, aircraft engineers, there's a lot of ground crews. There's a lot of work there that a lot of our young people should know about and be involved in. So if you've got a young person that's interested in those type of things, be sure and go to the NASA website with him so they can look, him or her, so that they can see what the possibilities are and where they can go in life, because we can't shoot to be something that we've never seen. So we've got a lot of things. One of the things I wanted to tell you about, too, is the Black Family Technology Awareness Association is starting a new drone program. So we're wanting to get young people that are interested in learning about flying drones and coding and how to program drones and work with drone aircraft. So we're starting a class that will take kids from 9 years old through high school. We're going to divide them up if we get a lot in that group. We're starting with the younger kids really right now. So if you have some kids between 9 and, say, 13, that's in elementary or middle school, we'd like to have them in our drone program. You want to know how to get in touch with us or find out about the drone program, be sure and contact us. You can contact us at 816-599-6893. That's 816-599-6893. And you can call and find out about our drone program. You can also hit us up on Facebook or on YouTube. If you go to the KUAW-radio on Facebook or to the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, you can leave a message for us and we'll get back with you. You can email us at BFTAA@sbcglobal.net. So we're looking for kids to get involved, elementary and middle school children right now, to get involved in our drone program so they can learn how to fly drones. They can learn how to code and program drones, but they can get involved in this new drone culture because there's a whole industry that is developed around the drones. You can get certified as a drone pilot. You can do photography from drones. There's a lot of business opportunities, entrepreneurship. They're going to go into all of that. They're going to learn how to do entrepreneur, how to set up a business using your drone, how to fly a drone, and take pictures and movies. All of that is what we're going to be doing. That's a 12-week program in drones. They'll meet here on Saturdays from 12:30 till 2 o'clock. From 12:30 to 2 o'clock at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. So get in touch with us if you would like to get your child involved in our drone program. 816-599-6893 is the program. 816-599-6893. So let us know, get in touch with us as soon as possible because we want to get this program started. We want to have at least 10 kids, or we're maxing out at 10 kids. We'll start the program with 5 or 6, but 10 is the maximum amount of kids that we're going to have. And we would like for your child to be involved in this with us. So, whoops, let me get this adjusted. All right, can you hear me now? So, yeah, we would like for your child to be involved in this with us. So get in touch with us and find out about our drone program. Now, we have another little bit of information that comes from NASA, and this is a program that called Space to Ground. So this is going out to our space station and back to Earth. So they cover ground of what's going on at the space station right now and with Artemis, which is going to be our next moon landing craft. So that's going on. So let's check out what's happening at Space to Ground.
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Sandra Jones. This week, 2 first-timers suited up and took the walk of a lifetime for a spacewalk outside the International Space Station, that is. Also, a first in the study of quantum gases in space, and a seat liner move took place. On Friday, NASA astronaut Nicole Mann and Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Koichi Wakata ventured outside of the space station's west airlock to conduct a spacewalk in anticipation of future solar array installation. The spacewalking duo worked to install mounting platforms as part of planned solar array augmentation of the starboard side of the International Space Station's truss. The installation is part of a series of spacewalks to augment the International Space Station's power channels with new International Space Station rollout solar arrays, or IROSAs. 4 IROSAs have been installed so far, and 2 more will be mounted to the platforms installed during spacewalks in the future. The unique microgravity environment of space allows research to be done in a truly out-of-this-world way aboard the International Space Station. One example of such a study includes the Cold Atom Lab. Researchers with NASA's Cold Atom Lab have now simultaneously produced gases of 2 atomic species in a uniquely quantum or wave-like phase of matter called a Bose-Einstein condensate for the first time in space.
Really very much the same kind of atom trap that we've got on the ground, but the beauty is we've got it up here, and so we don't have to put any energy into holding these atoms, these really cold atoms, in their location. And so that means we can get down to really, really cold temperatures, and the dwell time of those atoms interacting is fairly significant, like on order of 10 or 20 seconds. The cool thing for me is, that's an experiment where you can see quantum mechanics happening on the macroscopic level.
Ultra-cold atomic gases provide a unique tool for exploring the quantum nature of matter and for probing the foundations of modern physics. Cold Atom Lab is now the first and only quantum gas experiment in space with multiple atomic species available for study.
Space to Ground.
Also taking place this week was a seat liner move for NASA astronaut Frank Rubio. NASA astronauts Josh Cassada and Nicole Mann worked inside the SpaceX Dragon Endurance cruise ship, moving Rubio's seat liner from the Roscosmos Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft to the Crew Dragon. The seat liner move is taking place following the external cooling loop leak on Soyuz last month. This move ensures that Rubio would be able to return to Earth aboard Crew Dragon and reduces the heat load inside the MS-22 spacecraft for cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin in the unlikely event of an emergency evacuation from the space station. A replacement spacecraft, Soyuz MS-23, will launch to the station next month. Once docked to the station, Prokopyev, Petelin, and Rubio will return to Earth on that Soyuz later this year. And that's Space to Ground for this week. Thanks so much for watching. You can get a daily on-orbit status report by visiting our space station blog at blogs.nasa.gov. We'll see you next week.
Excuse me, now you can hear me. Yeah, they can learn things and they can have some fun if they get involved in some of the programs that we have like that. One of the big things that's coming out is a lot of artificial intelligence. I know you guys have been hearing about it. It's a buzzword. It's kind of like, okay, what is artificial intelligence? And it's constantly, well, not constantly, but it shifts from depending upon who you're talking to. But artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines, especially computer systems. So specific applications are like in expert systems, natural language processing, speech recognition, and machine vision. So artificial intelligence are where machines are learning and simulating human intelligence, what we think, how we do things. So they're able to make decisions based on certain processes or patterns and things like that. So that is a growing science field. Artificial intelligence is not going to go away, but it's something that we need to be involved in, listening to, checking out, because it's good, but like any other tool, it can be used for good or for bad purposes. So, and it probably will be used for both. So that's something that's coming down the pike, and we want to make sure that our young people are in that. That's going to be jobs, and it's going to change jobs and workflow. Some of the things that we look at now that people complain that, jobs are being taken away and things like that, it always happens. It always happens. Jobs have constantly been taken and changed or redefined. There was a group called the Luddites back in England and in Europe when the machine age first started, that they were against all machines, that machines were taking away jobs, like the cotton gin or weaving machines, because all of that used to be done by hand, and a lot of people worked at doing those jobs. So they were against, they had riots and they tore up factories and things because they were against machines taking people's jobs. So it's not something new. I was going to see if I could pull that up right now just to give you a little indication of it. Let's see what the Google says about it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that happened in the 19th century, so that'd been in the 1800s. It says a group of early 19th century English workmen destroying labor-saving machinery as a protest. And that was a group, it was called the Luddites. So the Luddites were the people that were against technological change. That was in the 1800s. They organized machine breaking between 1811 and 1816. So they didn't think you should be making any machines doing people's work back in 1811 or 1816. Now, if you think about that in today's terms, if they would have succeeded and no machines come along to take people's jobs, would we have automobiles? Would we have light bulbs? Would we have cell phones? Would we have heating in our house? A lot of the machines that we use now on a daily basis have been invented since 1811 and 1816. So, to be against machinery or technology that is doing work is something that can slow down progress. I don't think there's many of us want to go back to living like they were living in 1811 or 1816. So sometimes we have to look at it in perspective. Yes, jobs, people got displaced. Jobs were lost. Some people were hurt by it, and some people were able to take on new jobs by it. because cars, automobiles, the factory, the machine shops and stuff like that started hiring a lot of people. So it was a change in work. So it wasn't all being made by hand, one person at a time. So it did put some people out of work that were craftsmen or artisans, or it changed their work. But we don't want to necessarily stop the progression. And AI is another progression. Now, do we want to stop it, or do we want to make sure or try to work with it as to do good and to use it for good? So we don't want to go against all the technological improvements just because they seem like they may be replacing people. There will be other jobs found or formed or created, and there is a change in the workforce. People complain now that at the checkouts in a lot of the stores that you go to, they have the self-checkout. So it says you're paying money and you have to go through and ring out your own groceries. And they're hurt by that. But if you remember back a few years ago, and nobody's talking about it now, but you used to didn't have to pump your own gas. You went to the gas station and a person came out and they pumped the gas for you. Well, they don't do that anymore. So you don't have those people that are running out to your car, pumping your gas, washing your windows, checking your oil. That changed. So there's nobody doing that. That was a service that is no longer offered at most places. I don't know if they have any other full service stations. And what they did, though, was now at those same places that used to be service stations, it's a small store with employees that stays open 24 hours, hires some people, does a lot of work like a Quick Trip or a station or one of the ones along the highway, and you pump your own gas. So now you get upset sometimes because you're wringing out your own groceries, but that's just a change in the workflow. Change happens. We have to go with the flow, or we can fight against it, but sometimes you're fighting a losing battle because, we could fight to get the guys back to pump your gas, but how many of us think that's going to happen? And as we go to more electrified cars, how long are we going to have gas stations? Is that going to put a lot of people out of work because people buy electric cars and they don't have to stop at the gas station anymore? That's something to think about. That is just the progression of mankind, of what we do. We change, we grow, we get better, we get faster, we get more efficient, we do things differently, and we keep moving. It's the steady march of time and of what we do, and that's been happening since God created us, that we've been steadily changing, steadily getting better, smarter, doing things. That's, a part of life. So that's my spiel on that, because sometimes people are so upset about change. And if you lose your job, it's a whole different ball game than somebody talking about it theoretically. I understand that if it's not your job, it doesn't bother you as much, as it does when it's your job that's getting replaced. I understand that, but we have to realize too that we can't necessarily stop change or progress from happening. So we have to continue to learn. We have to continue to advance ourselves. We have to continue to innovate. Life now is a continuous learning experience. You don't never get through learning. You don't never get through knowing things that you need to know more and more. Some people didn't want to learn the computer or even how to use a cell phone and stuff. But as you get older, as time keeps going by, you find that you really might need to use that if you're staying in the city and stuff. It's really something that is becoming more and more commonplace. Even applying for jobs, you have to do online. So it's something that, and that's just a change that's been happening. Paying your bills, setting up doctor's appointments, all kind of things. We call in to talk to somebody, and it's artificial intelligence. It's a machine asking you certain questions before you can get to a real person. There's a gatekeeper there. I'm not saying that it's good or bad or that I like it either when they have to go through it, but it's a thing that's happening. So, you know, what we need to do is make sure that we stay advanced in this technological age, that we can create the jobs in the new industries and the new formats that are going to be laid out and the way that they're doing things. I saw a show just the other day where they're 3D printing some houses. So the little 3D printer that your kid might have wanted and had on the table just for making little plastic things, and you thought, well, that's a neat little hobby. Well, no, it's not just a hobby. They've learned and they're growing, and they're now starting to 3D print houses. Is that going to put some people out of work? Maybe yes. If you can set a machine up there, and as long as you keep feeding it concrete, it keeps pouring and making the house. It may make houses faster, though. They may be sturdier. There just may be a time when you come along and you'll say, well, I don't know why anybody ever would build their own house by hand. You know, when they could get one of these 3D printed houses. It's just a thing about life, about world, about the mankind and what we're doing. So, hey, it's good to stay up on it. It's going to be constantly changing, and I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's a never-ending process. So, hey, let's work with it. All right, so now as we went through that and a little bit of artificial intelligence, I was working with some of that. You know, the schools are starting to worry about artificial intelligence because they've got a program that can do homework, basically. If you want to write a report, there's an AI chat box that will write a report. And they say make it look pretty good. The teachers are going to have to be on the lookout that if you tell a child to go write a report on something, they may turn in a paper that they just asked the computer to do it, to put it together. And it puts it together, it looks neat and it's perfect and stuff. And then you say, is that a good or a bad thing? Don't know. Will we not be able to write or to do our own thinking that way, or will that free us up to think about more and better things? Don't know. The court will be out on that, but that's something that AI, artificial intelligence, is making available, and it's out there now. They say they're looking at reports and stuff that are getting made. Teachers are going to have to get up on that because kids will be getting their work done by a computer, and, you know, there it is, turning it in. So that's our technology moving forward. I may have to do a bit on that every week about the different progress that's being made and the changes and the things that are coming along, because it's not slowing down. It's getting faster. It's getting better. Well, it's getting faster. We don't know if it's better yet or not, but it's definitely getting faster. But one thing I want to show, as we're changing here at the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and KUAW Radio, we're constantly changing. We're bringing a new show in. If you want to learn about financial matters, there'll be a show that starts at 7 o'clock tonight, Smart Money. Smart money. So you want to know about your investing, about savings, about building wealth, and those type of things. Smart Money will be on KUAW with Valencia Broadus at 7 o'clock this evening. Her panel of experts or professionals will be on to talk about real estate, to talk about a lot of different things, and to answer your questions. Our phone lines will be open. You can call in to the radio station at 816-599-6893 when the show starts. So be sure and tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you're listening on the West Coast or the East Coast, adjust your time accordingly. But the show will start at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And for those of you that listen to us overseas, you really have to make an adjustment. But if you're picking us up, because I looked at some of our stats, and we had a few people listen to us in Nigeria and in Ghana and over in Germany and France. So the time for the show is going to be really adjusted. But that's what's going to be on at 7 p.m. Central Time here in the United States, a new show called Smart Money. So be sure and stay tuned for it. Now, one of the things that we've been doing as we continue to want to reach a broader audience and expand, we're now a part, KUAW Radio and the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, of STEM City. STEM City USA is a product that was created and started by the Career Communications Group in Baltimore, Maryland, and they're spreading throughout the nation. And one of the places that they have another city is in Kansas City. Chicago is going to be opening up one before long, and another place, I think Atlanta. But right now, STEM City, Kansas City is open, and KUAW is there. So let's see if I can find that that program, and I can bring it up for you to show another place that you can pick up KUAW radio. So here we are. Let's see. Okay. Yep, that's it. All right, see if I can bring this to you. Okay, that's STEM City. Let me see if I can get beside you here so you can still see me. And you can go to this on your computer. Right now, it is a two-dimensional drawing, but this is a prelude to a full metaverse connection. So you'll be able to use this and to experience STEM City as a alternate reality or as a metaverse. That's what they're calling the new thing. So as getting into the metaverse, this is one of the steps. So if you see, this is STEM City USA. And if you go to STEM City USA on your computer, you get to this. This is the main site. There are a lot of businesses around, and these different doors are places that you can visit in STEM City. So you can go through, and let's see if I can click on one of them here. Oops, just a second. How will I get to click on that? STEM City USA, there it is, interact. All right, so you're in STEM City, and if we want to get down to the Welcome Center, I can click a link, and that's taking us down to the Welcome City, and you see the sign says STEM Life. That's what science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is bringing us to. So when you want to go and find out about some of the latest technology, come to STEM City. So we'll go into the Deloach Community Welcome Center, if we can. See if we can open that door. Where you see the doors is where you can go. And there we are, welcome. And there's a lot of things around in STEM City. There's the Black Engineer of the Year awards in their section there. There's some faces and places, but if we move forward, we actually can go to a travel site. So from that Welcome Center, you go in this travel site, and you see that we can visit other STEM City destinations, and one of them is STEM City, Kansas City, now boarding. You can take a flight there. STEM City, Chicago, and STEM City, Detroit are coming. So I'm going to click on that we want to go to Kansas City. Now, this should look familiar to you. There's Union Station. We're in STEM City, Kansas City. Get a little more sound and friendly there. If we go into their Welcome Center, let's see what they have there. So you go down to the Union Station in Kansas City, and you see a little bit of STEM life. If I go in the door here, I can go in the lobby, and there's a welcome. You're in STEM City and their Welcome Center. So that's a great Welcome Center. You can see a lot of things in there. See where we can go. There we go. There's a lot of what's going on, STEM life, about us, a STEAM village. Excuse me. Mr. William Wales is the mayor, excuse me, of STEM City. I have to get me something to drink when this is over with. That's a little bit about what you'll see when you go into STEM City that you can be a part of. Now, we can back up just a little bit from STEM City, Kansas City. Let's go back again. I think I want to take a trip over to 18th and Vine while I'm out here in Kansas City. So if I go over toward this, I think it's a multicultural center down the street here. Let me see what they're doing down there. All right, you see a building look a little familiar down here. Yes, that's STEM in the Multicultural Center. Kind of looks like a theater down there in the 18th and Vine area. A little familiar. And if we go inside that Multicultural Center at STEM City, well, we got a little music there, but I see something else back on that back wall. I actually see, we start that, KUAW radio back there. Let's click that arrow. Oh yeah, so that's KUAW. So this show that you're hearing right now is also being broadcast in STEM City. So STEM City USA is connected to Kansas City, and by default, they're connected to KUAW. KUAW is the first radio station on STEM City, Kansas City. So we're there, KUAW, bringing you the global community radio. That's what we're about. So we're there. It's a product of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. And soon, these videos that you're watching right now will be shown at the same Multicultural Center. So we've got a radio station in there now giving you the news, giving you entertainment. You can listen to KUAW radio if you go to STEM City, and you can pick that up. But we're going to be, I don't know what's in that. Oh, that's the auditorium there. So they've got an auditorium. They can come out to KUAW radio. I don't know if we can zoom in any closer to it to get a better look. No, I don't think it lets us get a little closer. So we'll do a little work on it, but we're going to be bringing the actual videos of these shows, like the show that I'm doing right now, will be shown in STEM City, Kansas City. So anybody that visits STEM City, USA, will be able to click right in. They take a trip to Kansas City, they'll see these shows popping up there. So stay tuned. We're constantly trying to do new things and bring new things to you. But the KUAW radio staff continues to grow, continues to expand, and this multicultural center that's located in STEM City will be something that we will be a part of. So let's go back to the, let's see, where are we? STEM City, USA. So that's back at the very first one. So if you want to show some people around, be sure and take them to STEM City. STEM City is all one word, STEM City, USA. And you go there, and you can get to STEM City, Kansas City, or you can go directly to STEM City, Kansas City if you want to. But this is one way to get there, is through the STEM City, and you can see all of the things there are in the city. So you can go through the city, you can investigate it, and pretty soon, I won't say pretty soon, but in the future, this will be changing into a 3D, fully immersed location where you'll have an avatar that moves, where you can go with your virtual headsets on and visit STEM City, USA. So we'll be a part of this from the beginning. We're the radio station in Kansas City, but we're going to be STEM City's premier radio station. So we'll be going out all over the world from STEM City, USA to everywhere else that you want to go in STEM City. So when you go to STEM City, Kansas City, which is here, all you have to do is type that in to your logo, STEM City, Kansas City, and you can get there. So that's what we're doing here at KUAW Radio. So as this AI is going, as progress is moving farther and faster in the world, I say don't be scared of it. What we have to do is learn it. What we have to do is study it. What we have to do is get involved with the changes that are going on in the world. You know, we want to be a part of the changes. We don't want to just sit back and those changes happen to us. We want to be a part of them. We want to be a part of making the change, of being the change. And we can do that if we all start encouraging our young people, if we take on an attitude of continual learning, that we want to constantly grow and improve, to get better, to do more. That's what we've got to go for. You know, we can't sit back and wait for things to be delivered to us. We should be the ones creating the things that are going to be delivered to the world. So that's our history. That's what we come from. That's what we do. So let's continue to do what we do in making this world a better place. So I thank you for listening today. Be sure and stay tuned. Like I say, at 7 o'clock, we'll have a new show, their second broadcast of the Smart Money Show. Smart Money Show will be starting at 7 p.m. right here. So we'll see if B. Michael's going to be able to get off work to come in and do the show that we have with him, Shifting Paradigms. But if not, we'll catch him next week, because that's his regular week, the 1st and the 3rd. But we're going to try and bring you something special in here today. But we'll see if that starts up. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something that got your mind a little bit interested. Right here. This is the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. We'll be right back here next week, next Monday from 5 to 5:45 for the BFTAA and More show. I'm George Walker, and right now I have to say, toodaloo.